Yeah. So I think the great thing about what mind science has enabled us to do is that we've actually been able to fulfill the promises that we were kind of making last year. So I think within a year now, we've recruited most of our participants and we've actually started already analyzing the data. So we're really, really close to actually showing something in neuroscience that has never really been shown in people. So for me, I think that's the strongest part of it, is that it's really, without it, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this stuff. So it's really looking good for the future. For me, at least, it's when you exist in academia, you sort of exist in this bubble where everyone's sort of saying the same thing and using the same vocabulary. You rarely ever get to step out of this sort of like weird niche world, like a campus, and like actually share with people what it is that you're working on. So a lot of the time, like the things you're trying to sell, as in the ideas and so on, or why it's important, gets lost because the only people you end up talking to are just other scientists. So the thing I like the most about the BrainStorm process is the fact that the public is basically involved at most steps, which actually means that for once I actually get to talk about my ideas with those that matter the most, so the real stakeholders, which is the public. So basically, my research is all about looking at interbrain synchrony under the psychedelic drug LSD. So there's this whole thing of essentially what is the neural basis for connection, or social connection, so how we interact with others. And in neuroscience, essentially, it's always been assumed that there will be a neural signature for, let's say, cooperating, engaging, or for example, when a mother looks at her baby in the eyes, there's something going on between them. And this marker of social connectedness is something that we kind of expected to increase under these psychedelic drugs, which are supposedly creating these experiences of harmony and so on. And so our research was basically get people that love each other, give them LSD, and see whether this marker of neural synchrony, so or connectedness, would actually increase in a manner that would relate to social well-being. So the idea of this is basically looking at new indices for, let's say, conditions like autism, where people have like a lot of trouble interacting in the social world, or just a therapeutic alliance, so how you interact with someone else, like your therapist. So.